F3.
And
Oh
we're going to
my.
overtime, Amon. This is shocking.
Absolutely unbelievable.
We're still reeling from the greatest bullet chess final of the century. We had Alireza Firouzja with white here, kicking off with pawn e4, and Hikaru Nakamura, the bullet king, going e5 in response. A Spanish game on the board, and this is bullet chess. They have just 1 minute on the clock. Barely enough time to crack an egg, but they're playing an entire chess game. And what happens in this game and the match to come is out of this world. More on the way. First, let's dive into the chess, because after a6, the knight is offered. For those newer to chess, can't you just gobble, gobble, gobble? Well, no. Queen d4, double attack, you're winning back your pawn after you save the pony. So, we get retreats. This is a playable variation, but not selected, and now drawing on the board the most common moves. Okay, Bomb Cloud is a bit of a joke. Mainly they develop the knight here, but Hikaru goes bishop c5, getting the sniper into action, enemy at the gate, so c3 from Alireza, preparing to expand with the pawns. Now we see knight ge7, unusual placement. We'll see Hikaru's idea after the king gets out of dodge, the bishop preemptively retreats, and d4 for the score. Alireza dominating the center of the boards. This is a phalanx of pawns, no chink in the armor here. So knight g6 from Hikaru, defending his center, but hang on, aren't you walking into pawn d5? Well, it's playable, the knight stumbles this way, but you do open the bishop, and Hikaru will go castles, f5, that kind of thing. He wants it, he's goading it, come at me bro, so Alireza holds off. Simply pawn h3, gives the king some Lufthansa, always get your king to safety, and bishop g5, hitting the lady, so that's why we see pawn f6 provoked. Never play it, says GM Ben Feingold. Look at that king, indecently exposed. Now the bishop drops back, and king h8. The king scurrying away before it can get tickled on the diagonal, and rook e1 played. Steady development, Alireza in the driving seat because he's got the center and he's got some awkwardly placed pieces in Hikaru's camp. We see takes on d4 now. Why is Hikaru ceding more of the center here, giving this knight a development square? Well, here's his point. He lashes out with pawn d5. Alireza captures, queen takes back, and Alireza shouts charge as he forays forth with that pony, kicking the queen all the way back to the starting square. This is not a picture of harmony, but bullet chess. Hikaru's still in the game, and now Alireza, keeping Star Trek fans proud, cracks on with pawn d5. Space, the final frontier. Captain Kirk a happy man, or Jean-Luc Picard, or Janeway, whatever your preference. Not Cisco, Deep Space Nine sucked. And now we see takes on e3. Rook recaptures, and knight c to e7. Pressuring this pawn and looking over this direction. So the bishop drops back voluntarily, lending a hand here, and now knight f5. A little bit of play for Hikaru. The rook dropping back. We see bishop d7. Finally Hikaru gets his bits out. It's move 18, but Alireza, he's a step ahead. Queen d2, connect those rooks. After rook e8 played, challenging the file. Here Alireza doesn't even go for the exchange. He's got the space, he's got the initiative. Keep those pieces on the board, baby. Knight e4. Exchanges favour the side without the space. So first Alireza probes around on the dark squares. Is d6 coming? Knight c5. Hikaru doesn't want to find out about the knight landing here, so he pushes on with the pawn. But how about that c ship square? Makes you want to pull a face like this when you leave such holes. And Alireza immediately now targets that file, hits that weakened square. a5 or rook c8, the preferred moves of the Silicon Overlord, but tough to play. Hikaru wants activity, so he plays knight to d6 here, allowing an exchange. Alireza goes for it, shattering Hikaru's pawns, and he's got himself some juicy squares, which this knight now centralizes and targets. But does Hikaru go gentle into that good knight? No. He rages against the dying of the light. The rook now recaptures and he slams this one down on the other open file. We now see Alireza hop forth, a bone in the throat in that black position. The queen hit, moved, Hikaru's number one at bullet for a reason, and he sticks it on an x-ray with the rook. Very uncomfortable, but how do you make the most of it? If you capture here, you know takes, there's no immediate tactic. So f4 from Alireza. Great move, taking control of e5, stopping this knight from becoming a beast. Now queen f7 steps off the line of the rook. We see queen f2 and it's great chess. Playing on those dark squares, there's no dark squared bishop for black. b6 is hit, therefore pushed. Still the queen can invade to great effect, but Alireza goes a3 first. Nice structure with this light squared bishop. It's ready to run around. We see knight e7 now played, looking for knight f5 perhaps. Not that that's even a big deal. You could go g4. Where's that knight going? But here Alireza doesn't want to find out. He goes f5. An iron curtain descended on Hikaru's position here. That's a Winston Churchill reference, by the way, not Eric B and Rakim, although apparently it features in one of their songs, as I've been told in the comments. And now we get knight to g8. Where's Hikaru headed? Because after queen f4, d6 is majorly under fire, and Hikaru ignores it and goes knight h6. This is where the top guys are great at creating counterplay. You take me, I take you, then I get queen g6, I'm attacking. So Alireza drops back that knight, covers f5. Now we see queen f8, covering d6 and preparing knight to f7. Hikaru holding on by a thread. King h2 played. Knight f7 back, knight e6, going back into the enemy territory, hitting the queen behind enemy lines. Queen e7 played, and no time to move the knight, or the rook drops. It's undefended. Therefore rook e3. And now a move to make us all proud. Knight to e5. The dad in the corner looking over, proud of the son. You did good, son. You made it. Finally, you got your life in order, and now rook g3 played, preparing to crash through on g7. If you go rook g8, it's a bit passive. g5 possible, playable. We see the idea soon, but instead we see bishop takes here, getting rid of that pesky pony, and now pawn g5 comes, allowing the en passant, which obviously Alireza plays just so you can bellow it in your best French accent. We see pawn recaptures, it's covered by that steed on e5, and now Alireza decides it's time to tickle Hikaru, starting with queen h6. Not literally, of course, that's only allowed in over the board chess. After blocks here, now Alireza drops back. Hikaru does the same. He tickles again. Now another block. Are we going to see a repeat? A boring old draw? Well, no. It's Hikaru who deviates. He goes king g7. No threefold repetition. Queen d4 now far and away the best move. How are you covering this pawn? But Alireza starts with rook c3. Not precise. It allows these rooks to exchange. Pawn recaptures, and now g5 on the board. Hits the queen, yes, but weakens these light squares here, as we can see. d6 under fire, and again it's so difficult to cover. There's one awesome line here. What if queen d3? Covering like this. And if you take and knight takes, well, this is fine for black, right? 5 on 5, king's moving round. Well, this is the problem. Pawn e7. The bishop and pawn create the barrier, and this is going to be a baby girl. So much going on beneath the surface, even in these bullet games. So Hikaru goes king g6, but it's terrible. King h6 was better, not landing on the light square diagonal. He's not on his best form in this game. Only move now to save the queen is pawn f5, but now d6 is collapsing. Then the knight is 2, pawns running, it's absolutely curtains. But hang on, Alireza does not take the pawn on d6. In a moment of madness, he decides to Botez gambit his queen with pawn to g4. Stockfish having a meltdown here. black completely winning. Hikaru pounces with knight f3 check.
I don't. Queen d6.
Knight of 3. There goes the
Knight
queen.
f3?
The queen drops here after the king moves, but to be fair to Alireza, it is understandable. He has not been keeping up with his grandmaster training. He should be doing his queen blunder check work. They take the queen everywhere they go. This is David Howell with his. If you keep the queen close to your person throughout the day, you're far less likely to blunder it. This is what top professionals do. Alireza's neglected it, pursuing his fashion. He's paying the price in games like this. The bishop crashes through, queen hit, and here's the crazy part. Alireza a queen down, but is not over, as we're going to see. It's a time scramble. They're pre-moving. The queen invades, hits 2 pawns. Now we see this one pushed, and Hikaru should just take, but no, he chops this one, and this one's running. Run, Forest, on its way. Hikaru picks up the central one, but look at the progress. The queen tied down. b4 played. The king marches over, but you can't keep going with the pawn because the bishop covers b1. So the a pawn joins its brother. This one marching over now. The king's still going. The king gets there just in time, but a2 check. And what do? You're in the crossfire. You have to run away. The queen is made. Oh boy. The writing on the wall. In comes the second queen. It's absolute femme fatale destruction. And what to do? If you come here, checkmate. If you come here, then this is a checkmate. That is game over, and the best part of all, this took us to overtime. If you don't know what happened in this match, check out the video on screen here because that clarifies it all. This was a great game, but boy was the final climax even more special. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching and see you soon.